All right, let's get right into it. Today we're breaking down Bob Morris's incredible high seas thriller, A Deadly Silver Sea. It's a story that takes unimaginable luxury and smashes it head-on into the most brutal, terrifying kind of danger you can imagine.
So you've got to picture this, the Royal Star. This isn't just any cruise ship. We're talking about a floating paradise, a private playground built just for the world's super elite. It's the very picture of untouchable luxury, a safe harbor of wealth and comfort out on the open ocean.
And then, in a heartbeat, that whole paradise just shatters. The safe harbor becomes a cage, the peaceful waters become a terrifying trap, and every single one of those elite passengers is now a hostage in a game where the stakes are life and death.
So how in the world does a paradise like this fall apart? Let's rewind to the moments right before the chaos, back when the biggest problem on the Royal Star was probably choosing what to have for dinner. I mean, get this, people called this ship a waterborne Taj Mahal. It cost $400 million to build, all for just 100 of the wealthiest people on the planet. This thing was designed from the ground up to be a floating fortress, supposedly the safest place you could possibly be at sea.
And with those words, that whole illusion of safety gets ripped to shreds. That's not a suggestion, it's a brutal, violent takeover. And you know what the most chilling part is? The attackers aren't pirates who swarm the deck. No, they're already on board. They're part of the crew.
Yeah, this was no random smash and grab. What we're watching unfold here is a perfectly planned operation. These hijackers aren't just thugs. They are disciplined, strategic, and absolutely terrifying in how good they are at this.
Their strategy was just flawless in a horrifying way. See, they had an insider, the ship's own communications officer, who cuts them off from the rest of the world. All the backups, disabled. But then they pull their cruelest move. They separate the men from the women because they know that's how you really weaponize fear.
And this right here, this is the twisted genius of their plan. It's pure psychological warfare. You don't need physical chains when you can create this kind of agonizing worry. By splitting up families, they paralyze everyone with fear, making sure nobody even thinks about fighting back.
But even when you're facing that kind of calculated terror, you can only push people so far. And right in the middle of it all, resistance starts to bubble up, and it comes from the last person you'd ever expect. So, meet our hero, Zack Chasteen. He's not a Navy SEAL, he's not a spy. He's an ex-football player who now, get this, grows rare palm trees. But here's the thing that matters. His pregnant wife, Barbara, is one of the women who's been taken, and that turns him into the one problem the hijackers never saw coming.
This quote, this is basically his entire mission statement. He's not trying to save the world. It's raw, it's personal, and man is it powerful. He has one mission and one mission only. Find his wife, make sure she's safe, and absolutely destroy anyone who tries to stop him.
But he's not just a bruiser who charges in blindly. He's smart. He gets a small group of other captives together, and they start piecing together this desperate, incredibly high-risk plan to fight back from the inside. It's the ultimate underdog story.
And this attempt to fight back really brings us to one of the biggest ideas in the whole book. This crisis is a brutal lesson in what money can buy and what it absolutely can't. You can just feel the total disbelief in that quote, can't you? It's that sense of, how could this possibly be happening to us? These are people who have spent their whole lives believing their money made them untouchable. They paid for safety, and they just can't wrap their heads around how it all failed. Because this crisis just strips away all those illusions, all the things they thought made them strong, their wealth, their status, their luxury. It all becomes completely worthless. The only things that actually matter now, being resourceful, working together, and having the sheer guts to fight for your life. Okay, so just when you think you've got this figured out, it's all about a big ransom, the story hits you with a massive curveball. This quote from the lead hijacker, Glenroy, changes everything. He's not in this for greed. He sees this whole thing as a political statement, a righteous blow against centuries of oppression. This isn't just piracy, it's an ideological mission, which makes him and his crew so much more unpredictable.
And that just changes the whole game. The hijacking, the money, it's not the goal. The passengers are just pawns. The real endgame is something much, much bigger and way more catastrophic. We're talking about a full-blown act of terror, with the Royal Star right at the center of it all.
Whew. Okay, so with the stakes raised that high, let's step back for a second and get to our final verdict on Bob Morris's A Deadly Silver Sea.
First off, just the basic details. The book is A Deadly Silver Sea. The author is Bob Morris. It's a pure action thriller. So if you love high stakes, can't put it down adventure, this is going to be right up your alley.
So what's our take? Look, this book just works. It's an awesome, fast-paced thriller, but it's also more than that. It's like a pressure cooker that shows you who people really are when everything falls apart. It's tense, it's exciting, and it actually makes you think.
For its breakneck speed, its really well-crafted plot, and that great theme of courage under pressure, our final grade for A Deadly Silver Sea is a very, very solid 8 out of 10.
And hey, if you love the sound of this, you have got to check these two out. First, Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe, which you might know better as the book that the movie Die Hard was based on. And for another amazing high-seas adventure, you just can't beat a classic like Clive Cussler's Raise the Titanic.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to chew on, doesn't it? The book really makes you wonder, if all the money and luxury in the world can't protect you, what actually can? What does real security even look like when chaos can strike at any moment?
If you found this breakdown valuable, we'd really appreciate it if you'd follow, share, and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.